Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. We're at Hampden Academy today installing some packages of bees to replace the colonies that died during the pandemic and the other one that died over this winter time. So now we'll be able to come out and have 3 full happy hives here. So to minimize, it's a warm day, so to minimize the bees flying as well, we're just spraying a little bit of sugar syrup on them. You can hear the hum right now, and they will actually quieten right down with the syrup on them. And we're not looking to wet them, just give them something to take their mind off flying right now. So now they're all going, ooh, tasty, and getting the sugar syrup. That'll help minimize the amount of bees that are flying around. This is food for later. Smoke at this stage probably is not going to be a great help, so we're not going to, because it's not an established colony, so we're just going to go straight into installing the bees like this. So what we'll probably do is we'll put the Saskatraz bees in the first 2 hives and the Italians in the last one. Sorry?
How many bees of each kind do you have?
Each one is about roughly 13,000 bees, maybe a bit more. There's 3 pounds of bees, and there's just about 4,500 bees to the pound, 4,600 or so. Okay? So. Table. Take some centrifuge juice, just introduce it on. Put a feeder on. Now, last week we were in here and we took some of the spare honey that was in this hive and put a little bit into each one of these, so they've got a little bit of honey from last year. The way I install a package of bees, I always set it up with a rim at the top to start with. That gives us a little bit of room to put the bees in. So the first thing we do is loosen up the can a little bit. We'll let take the can out, and then it doesn't go like a big cartoon cloud of bees coming out and that sort of thing. Once we get the can out, come on. The hardest thing about installing a package of bees is getting the can out. So there's little holes pierced in here, and there's a couple of tiny little holes, and the bees suck that and then they pass it on to the other bee, pass it on to another bee. But that can is still about half full. Now the queen cage, and the bees are all hanging out around the queen. So we're going to put this here. And I'll just show you what the queen cage looks like. So in here, there's 5 or 6 bees inside the cage, but the queen bee is the big one. Look, that one there with the long abdomen is the queen inside the cage. She moves around. You'll see her. See the one with the large abdomen. There she is on this side. Okay, so this cage is like a very clever time release mechanism. Because the queen's not the mother of the bees, we make a slow process of introducing the queen. And what I'm going to do is I need a screw here. I'll borrow this screw off the front of the hive. Because two ways into this cage. One is through that cork, which will go straight into the room the queen's in, or this cork here, which goes through this white block, which is a block of candy. And by taking this cork out, the bees have to eat their way through that candy, and once they've eaten the candy out, which takes 2 or 3 days, then the queen can get out. So now that you can get at the candy, all we do now is place this on top of the hive. See how calm the bees are. Now I'm going to stir things up a little bit. This is kind of an artificial swarm of bees. So we're going to put this down at the entrance. They're going to smell the other bees in there, and they're going to leave this hive here. But now the job is done. It'll take 2 or 3 days for them to eat that candy away, and then the queen will get out. Once the queen, that's given the queen a lot of time for her scent to mix with the other bees. She's already been in there for several days with them, but a few more days is very helpful. So now we'll put a feeder on this before we leave. So what we'll do is we'll set up these 3 first, and then we'll go around and feed them all. Okay? So, would one of you like to get the one with the S on it? There's an S written on one of the tops there. Sure. That off. Hold on to this for me so I don't lose it. Who would like to do this bit? Sure. Okay. So what we do is just tip it out into your hand to start with. So, okay. So grab hold of it. Keep holding. Gradually pull that out. That we don't like. Okay, so that's the feed done. We just put that down over there for the moment. Now you can take the queen too. Staple out. Well, there you go. She's going to go sort of gently shake the bees off there. And use this. Okay, so now what you can do is we're looking at the candy end of the cage. Yeah. We're going to take the fork out of there. We'll check to see that the queen's alive first. Gently rubbing those bees off. That's enough. Now I can see the queen running around in there. Okay.
Where's the queen?
Just turn it a bit more this way. Okay. What I find is just sort of screw it into the cork and pull it out. Hold it, push into the cork bit, and I'll just turn the screw into it. Going down. Now try and pull it out. Nice. All in one go. Okay, so you can just put it down across the frames there. Okay, I'll take that off your hands. Now you can shake the bees in. Get it nice and close to it, really close to the will land in there, go back and forth like that. And just to help you out, so you go like this. It's amazing how violent you can be with them, they're still okay.
Oh yeah, they're pretty tough. Nutty how they're so little.
Yeah. So now, all we have to do is put the lid on this hive, and this one's ready to go. I'll put the lid on there, and now Now we can start with the Italian. Back this way. There you go.
Hey.
So if you hold on to that for a moment, I'll just get the wood off here. You want to do this one?
Sure.
Okay. I'll hold it, and you just put your hand there until we get the can starts coming out.
Got it.
Got it. Now you can take it out. Sometimes they're harder than others to get it out. Like that. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Okay. Put your feet on your leg. Let it fly off. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So now we'll get the queen cage out.
Are you sensing any difference in the mood between the Italians and the
The
Saskatraz?
bees themselves are the same.
Okay.
They're actually all from the same group of bees. It's just the queen is different.
Oh, okay.
Once the queen's progeny are emerging in the hive, then the nature of the hive can change. Do you want to take care of this, or do you want me to?
Sure.
I just sort of tap some of the bees off over here on the hive. Okay. We'll just check the queen looks okay. She is running around.
What happened? What's up?
I've got more screws. That one went into the box.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll find the screws.
That's okay. I thought you meant the queen had fallen in. I'm like, no! That's all right.
What if like the saw traps where it's like, would you rather?
Just for your least
Go
one.
there, like,
There we go. So it's in and twist like a corkscrew. Not that you're supposed to know how to do a corkscrew at this stage. Almost.
Good
You
point.
just sort of try not to push it in too deep.
you think that I don't
Okay.
drink?
That's right. That's
Really?
right. So put it in just that'll do. You'll keep on trying it out that way. Okay. Okay, what we'll do is just get it on the side, twist it on the side so it falls in a bit, then I'll twist it.
Thank you.
We know which of the two of you is opening more wine bottles. Right?
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, it's a refreshment too.
Okay, so now that's clear. And we've got a good view of the queen here right now. Now for a lot of
Tip it a little bit so we can see.
for a lot of people,
I'll show you. Okay.
this is the last time they see the queen for a long time. Can you see how much bigger she is?
It's a bit of like a more dark amber color too.
The colors vary enormously. Okay, so you want to put her in the hive?
Sure I will. I'll try to go outside and get it done.
Alright.
Yeah.
Now with the pouring in, just go ahead, just nice and gently, nice and low. And keep your legs away. Try and do it at arm's length. So that way they're not too many flying out. See, now the cluster is going to form right around the queen. I'll get the last bits out, so bang them a little. Okay.
It's so funny because the house doesn't feel good.
About 99% out. And they'll follow the smell from the other bees and just walk right in. So now, what they're doing, you'll see them starting to stick their abdomens in the air and start to fan. They say, this is where we are. And they're releasing a sort of a come here pheromone. Just waiting to see which ones are doing it. You can hear them humming more. Now some starting to fan here. They open up the central glands in their butts and they start fanning these pheromones here. So sort of sticking their abdomen in the air, they start fanning pheromones, and that gets the other bees to come in. Okay. So now, all we have to do is set up some food for them. You can see over here the bees are coming out of the top. That's why I've got it sort of tipped upwards. I'll get some food. When it's nice and warm like this for the weather, the entrance feeder works really, really well, which is what we're going to use here. If it was cold, I would use a feeder at the top of the hive called the hive top feeder. I'll do one, and then you guys can do the other two. So, I'm just going to take it. This is 1 part sugar to 1 part water. So it mimics nectar coming in like the dandelions and stuff. I'm going to put this on.
Is this just to strengthen them, or is it to get them in a good mood?
This is
Or
to give them the fuel they need to build more wax. Because a lot of that comb needs repairing.
Okay.
And also it stimulates the queen to lay eggs. But the queen's not even out of the cage yet. So basically, if the bees feel like things are going well, there's food coming in, weather's nice, they're much more likely to accept that queen and not kill her when she gets out of the cage.
That's important.
The only risk with the package of bees.
Yeah.
Now see, when I tip this down, it fills those little wells up with sugar syrup. And the bees are going to go and help themselves to that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just put this right in the entrance of the hive, and it's sort of self-supporting.
Is she off to tennis?
Yeah.
Bia's gone off to tennis. She's got a tennis practice now.
Gotta go? Okay.
Do you want to? Oh, are you going back to the classroom? Okay, it's open.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to get it on. The best thing to do is carry it this way up. And then you tip it away from you. When we go to the hive, you're going to tip it away from you like that. Okay. Watch what I do here. Like that. All the way in. Perfect. Right, now they've got 2 quarts of feed. That's going to help them a lot. They will empty that down in a day or two, putting it in the combs and things, so that's their first stored food. That'll get them the reserves they need. Now really what we need to do is come back here in a few days to make sure the queen's been released, because sometimes it takes too long for them to get the queen out. It might take a week sometimes. It depends how hard the candy is. So we go back after a few days to make sure the queen's been released. Then we leave it alone. So a lot of bees just figuring out where they live now, doing their orientation flights around the hive. But now we're back in business.
Woohoo! Exciting.
Thank you to my camera lady
You're welcome.
and my apprentice.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to press the button?